Hey guys, welcome back to Beauty by CD. Today I'm going to show you how I work this curly frontal out. Here is my frontal. It's the bigger of the frontals. I think it's a 13 by 4. And I'm going to start by prepping my frontal and bleaching it. Here are the items that I'm using. The purple bleach will help cancel out any of that brassy orange color. So you want to go ahead and use that. I start at the very rim of the hairline and I move it all the way back in a thick consistency. I flip it over and lay it flat down onto the aluminum foil, checking to make sure that it is changing and bleaching out. I rinse it out with some purple shampoo, and this is a Clairol. A lot of people use it for silver hair, but it cancels out the brassiness and it helps it a lot. So here is the finished product of the frontal being bleached out. It was a pretty good job. I'm happy with it. I'm using this mesh cap, and it's actually made for U parts. Since you're adding a frontal or closure, it doesn't matter if it's like that, but I like it because it has these hooks that I can preserve and use. I'm going to start out by taking a pencil, any light color pencil that's going to show up on black, and line up your frontal to make sure it works. I know a lot of people use a styrofoam head and just throw it on there. I find that it's a little tricky. You have to know what you're dealing with when you're doing a frontal, so that way you get a nice fit and it's snug. So I outline it and then I put it on a wig block, and this is a medium wig block, size number 22. They come in sizes large, medium, small, and this is a medium because I know that I am a medium, so it helps me out a lot. You can probably find these wig blocks on Amazon for probably 50 bucks, maybe more. So I'm outlining my frontal, making sure that it matches up, and I continuously line it up and make sure it's good. Use some T-pins. Those are the pins that look like needles to kind of keep it in line. Once you get it to the place that you need it to be, you're going to add some tension. Like I pulled mine at the bottom and I started to sew. I'm going to sew all the way up to the midpoint of the head, and then I'm going to go over to the other side and sew that. I like this wig cap because it's so breathable. I like how she just popped up in my video. I'm on the other side and I am adding tension again. It's all about tension with these frontals. You gotta make sure it's really, really snatched well. And I wanted to show you guys from start to finish how your wig will look if you ordered with me. I've done a couple of other videos, but this one is probably the most detailed. So I use my frontal, I pluck some of the hair, and I'm using the all-in-one, I forget the name of this brand, and it's Loose Wave. And I'm just adding 16, 14, 12. I put the 12 at the bottom so I can maintain the length because I know I'm going to use it at a 12. I don't want it that long, but I'm going to do 16. I'm going to do 12, 14, 16. And when I cut it, it's going to all be very full and thick. So I didn't want to keep you guys by doing every single track, so I'm just at the top. And people have some problems with the top, and you just want to make sure you go back and forth and really pin down your edges when you flip those tracks over so that it's not causing any lumps. And once you get to the frontal area where the back is, you want to make sure you get it very close and very flat. Just take your time and just sew on top of it. Alright, so I'm at the top, and this is going to probably be my last track, and I want to make sure I take my time. I really made sure everything was laying down, and because this is a curly frontal, you want to make sure it's seamless. You can probably get away with a lot of little errors on a curly one, but you want to make sure it's seamless just the same. And when you're done, you just have a nice full wig. I love these curls. Again, this is a loose wave. It's so pretty. It's so curly. Perfect for the summer, perfect for the workouts that whatever you're getting into, and you don't have to do anything but curl. Actually, just add water and go. And I'm just spraying it to see how the waves are. And the front of the frontal is also a curly texture. It's probably a little curlier than the loose wave, but that's all good because it's the curl family. I've already kind of went into my hairline and um, plucked it a little bit. That also takes time, so I didn't add that in the video, but you will see me kind of plucking a little bit of it, and I made sure I removed some of the density. If you go back to the beginning of this video and see how it looked when I first prepared it for bleaching, you'll see that it looks a little bit lighter. The hairline is not so dense. So, anywho, here it is. I'm getting it ready to bleach it out. My thought process was to get it like a caramel kind of tone, and I'm taking the brush and I'm putting the bleach on the brush and I'm brushing it through. I want it to be very soft, very natural, very goldeny. And I saw this trick. I got it from, like, you know when you buy your inferior bottles and it comes with that little brush? It's the same concept. It's like the brush has the holes in it, and however you comb it is where it's going to lay. So you do that all over. It's not going to be heavy on the bleaching, but it's definitely going to change the color. Then I'm going to use this comb. I got this from the hair show, and it's meant for highlighting and stuff. So as you see, I had two different bleach options. I used the bleach that you saw in the beginning of the video with the purple and 30 volume. Then I had another tray that was for making it very light. It was a Clairol 7 stages, so I used that to make it lighter in some areas. Here I'm going to use, again, Clairol, but I wanted to add some, I think it's called the lightest golden blonde, so I just add that on top. And then for the very, very, very top, you know how you have your hair is a natural color, so all I've done was added a clear gloss to it to make it shiny, because sometimes when it's a natural color it can look a little dry, and I didn't want it to look dry, especially when I have color in the back in an ombre kind of fashion. I wanted it to look kind of glossy and shiny. So if you add a gloss to it and clear, it will give your hair like a nice little sheen so that it doesn't look dry. If you're like a number 1B, you know what I'm talking about. So here's my mess, taking it away. I processed it, I rinsed it, and look how pretty these curls are. It's very like caramel color. You see like different colors happening, but it's all like in the same family. I'm going to set this and put it under the dry. I'm using Nairobi, and this isn't a good setting lotion, foamy, to use on a curly hair or short hair. As you saw, that was my wig collection. I added her under the dryer and dried her for about an hour. She dried pretty quickly. After you dry it, it's like very, very fluffy. All the curls like expand. So you could do whatever you want. You can leave it like that and rock it. But I was going for a blunt bob. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go for a blunt bob. And I'm using my FHI flat iron, you guys. And I got this from the hair show. It's the biggest one. It's a size 2-inch. So you get a lot of, you process the hair a lot faster. So it picks up more hair in less time. And it's really hot, professional grade flat iron. So it gets the job done without having to do it like 1,000 times. But because this is curly hair, you want to make sure you go over it a couple of times. The only thing I didn't do was add straightening balm to this, and I should have. But next time I will. I just want to see how straight it, it would press out. And it pressed out pretty good. The frontal, as you see right there, is pressing out very, very nice. It's very delicate. So you want to take your time and just press it all through. In this frontal, you'll see that it has the returns, and that's when they ventilate it and they pull it through. You'll have those little returns. It's not a big deal, but sometimes it can add a little bulk to the front of your hair. Here is the wig. I'm going to try it on. I have a elastic cap on it. I have my baby hairs popping and ready to go. As I mentioned, I've already kind of plucked it, so I just have a little bit out. You'll see that in my other video on my curly frontal and beat, where I get this look. I want you guys to stay tuned. So this is how it looks in its full length, but I'm going for that short blonde bob, a blunt bob, I should say. So I'm going to cut it. And it really looks like tips at the moment. I didn't really cut that much, but it's still cut. So because I want to make this a blunt bob, I can't cut it on myself. I'm going to take it off, and I'm going to cut it on the wig block. Alright, so with this cut, if you want to do a very blunt, You can either take a razor and go straight into it with the razor, or you can do it by hand like I'm doing with no elevation. When you're cutting this bob, you want to make sure everything is straight down. Don't pull it up to any angles because you'll give it some type of, you'll change the look. If this is going to be a blunt bob, you want to make sure everything goes straight down and that you're cutting it all at the same length. Just be careful not to go higher than the next. Sorry for that. Ambulance was passing in the background. Anywho, so that is it. I've cut it all the way around straight. I'm going back into it, point cutting it. That's where the scissor kind of points straight into it, just to make it not look so harsh and remove any bulk at the bottom. I didn't want to sacrifice any more of this hair, so I'm going to leave it at this length. I think it's a good length, because once you curl it a little bit, it's going to go up a little higher. It will be like right on top of my collarbone. Probably like right underneath my chin a little bit. So it's a good length for the summer. And don't forget, this is a curly unit, so I kept that in mind when cutting this, knowing that once I wet it again, it's going to get shorter, because once you get it curly, it gets back to short. So I just went ahead and cut it into this length. Alright, so I'm going to test it out again and wanted to see how it looks. See how it just rests right on top of my collar / shoulder. And with a frontal, you can do anything with it. I don't have to worry about my sides. It's all covered. I can pull this hair back up. I can move it to the side if I want to and do like a deep side over. Like, I think it's so fabulous. Like, frontals are the best thing popping right now. So if you have like spots, like I have a thinning spot on the side of my hair, I don't have to worry about putting clips in there. I just let it sit. Like, that's the good thing about frontals. You just let them sit, and you add a spandex band, elastic band, and it keeps it sitting on your head. I also have a clip in the back, so it kind of keeps it in place. You'll see that in my other video, you guys, so make sure you go stay tuned to that one. Go check it out, where I do the makeup and how I get it to lay on here. Here's a picture of it on the sides where I have the baby hairs, and then I have it straight down the middle, and part of the look that you'll see in the next video is here. Here's a better look of it when I pull it up. Like, when the wind blows, nobody will see anything. And that's it, you guys. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Share this video with your girlfriends, and go check out my next video on how I got this look right here with the curly look and the beat. Thanks, guys.